Supreme Court of the State of New York, County of New York. Michael Reeves, Plaintiff, vs. Quora, Inc. Meta Platforms, Inc. Reddit, Inc. Premise Data Corporation, and John Does 1-50, Defendants. Index No. Verified complaint. Plaintiff Michael Reeves, appearing pro se, respectfully alleges against defendants as follows. Nature of the action. 1. This is a civil action for damages and equitable relief arising from defendants' coordinated conspiracy to conceal, facilitate, and retaliate against plaintiff's exposure of ongoing torture, stalking, harassment, and personal injury, including assaults by directed energy beams and a bright beam of light causing severe bodily harm, scarring, and psychological trauma. 2. Plaintiff seeks recovery for intentional infliction of emotional distress, assault, battery, civil conspiracy, negligence, and violations of his constitutional and civil rights. 3. Defendants acted individually and in concert to deprive plaintiff of his dignity, safety, property, and fundamental freedoms, causing both irreparable harm and ongoing damages. Jurisdiction and venue. 4. Venue is proper in this court because the causes of action arose within New York County, and defendants transact business in New York State. 5. Plaintiff is a resident within the jurisdiction of this court. Gitter parties. 6. Plaintiff Michael Reeves is an individual currently residing in New York who has been subjected to stalking, harassment, assaults, and suppression of speech by the named defendants and their agents. 7. Defendant Meta Platforms, Inc. is a Delaware corporation with principal offices in California, doing business in New York. 8. Defendant Reddit, Inc. is a Delaware corporation with principal offices in California, doing business in New York. 9. Defendant Quora, Inc. is a Delaware corporation with principal offices in California, doing business in New York. 10. Defendant Premise Data Corporation is a Delaware corporation with principal offices in California, doing business in New York. 11. Defendants John Does 1-50 are unknown agents, employees, contractors, and affiliates who participated in the conspiracy to harm plaintiff. Factual allegations. 12. Beginning in or about September 2023, plaintiff began experiencing mysterious assaults to his body, which at the time had no known source. 13. Plaintiff noticed scars, scrapes on the skin, laser-like burns, blurred vision, recurring headaches, and waves of intense internal heat that felt as if his body were being baked from within. 14. For nearly 2 years thereafter, plaintiff quietly documented, scored, and recorded the assaults, later discovering they were caused by a directed bright beam of light used as a weapon against him. 15. Despite plaintiff's silent documentation, defendants and their affiliates conspired to hide and cover up this torture, attempting to bury evidence of the injuries and prevent plaintiff from exposing the truth. 16. When plaintiff attempted to report and expose the assaults, he was met with retaliation. Defendants banned plaintiff for life from their platforms, stripping him of his freedom of speech under false pretenses, misusing Section 230 to silence his testimony and evidence. 17. In addition to these assaults, plaintiff has been the target of ongoing stalking and harassment, including defendants' agents and affiliates following him and monitoring his every move, multiple threats to plaintiff's life, including situations where weapons were drawn on him, multiple police reports filed regarding these threats and stalking incidents, yet no effective protection was provided, compounding plaintiff's trauma. 18. These acts are not isolated, but part of a coordinated conspiracy involving the named defendants and their partners, designed to terrorize plaintiff, suppress evidence of torture, and silence him from speaking out. 19. As a direct result, plaintiff has suffered permanent scars, burns, and physical injuries. severe emotional distress, including anxiety, trauma, and constant fear for his life. Reputational, financial, and professional harm caused by bans from major platforms. Irreparable harm to his dignity, peace of mind, and fundamental rights. Seizure causes of action count Y, assault and battery 20. Defendants, through their agents, subjected plaintiff to repeated harmful and offensive physical contact, including assaults by directed beams of light and threats with weapons. 21. Plaintiff has suffered physical injuries, pain, and emotional trauma as a direct result. Count 2. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. 22. Defendants engaged in extreme and outrageous conduct with the intent to cause, or reckless disregard of the probability of causing, severe emotional distress to plaintiff. 23. Plaintiff has in fact suffered severe and continuing emotional distress. Count 3. Civil conspiracy. 24. Defendants acted in concert to conceal plaintiff's torture, suppress his speech, and retaliate against him by coordinated bans and silencing tactics. 25. This conspiracy renders each defendant liable for the torts committed by the others. Count 4. Negligence and gross negligence. 26. Defendants had a duty to act reasonably and refrain from causing foreseeable harm to plaintiff. 27. Defendants' actions and omissions, including failing to stop harassment and instead retaliating, constituted negligence and gross negligence. Count 5. Civil rights violations. 28. Defendants, acting under color of state involvement and in coordination with contractors and affiliates, deprived plaintiff of his rights to free speech, dignity, bodily integrity, and equal protection. 29. Such actions constitute violations of the New York Constitution and common law rights of safety and speech. Damages. 30. Plaintiff has suffered and continues to suffer economic losses, reputational harm, physical injury, psychological trauma, and irreparable harm. 31. Defendant's actions were intentional, malicious, and in reckless disregard of plaintiff's rights, justifying an award of punitive damages. 32. Plaintiff seeks unspecified compensatory and punitive damages in an amount to be determined at trial, together with equitable relief, costs, interest, and such other relief as the court deems just and proper. Prayer for relief. Wherefore, plaintiff respectfully demands judgment against defendants, jointly and severally, as follows. A. Awarding plaintiff compensatory damages in an amount to be determined at trial. B. Awarding plaintiff punitive damages to deter such misconduct in the future. C. Awarding equitable and injunctive relief to prevent further harassment, retaliation, and silencing. D. Awarding plaintiff costs, interest, and any further relief the court deems just and proper.